Hey everyone, Andrew the Video Guy here at Garvey Hyundai in this brand new 2021 Hyundai Kona Electric. In a previous video, I filled you in on how to charge an electric vehicle and what that might end up costing you. Today, I want to talk about regenerative braking. So how does regenerative braking work? Magic? The motors that drive the wheels of your car can disengage from the wheels, and what they do is that they, I don't know, spin in another direction or something. I'm not sure of the mechanics of it. They use electromagnetism, which, yeah, may as well be magic. And they capture the forward kinetic energy of your car, slowing your car down and converting it to electrical energy back into your battery. On a conventional car using friction brakes, like a disc brake, that kinetic energy would be turned into waste heat. That energy would go nowhere. Here, it is captured into electricity, is put into your battery, and you can drive for farther, whether it is a hybrid, a plug-in hybrid, or a full electric vehicle. So how can you perform regenerative braking in your electric vehicle? Well, different manufacturers do it in different ways. Let's look at the Kona that we're driving right now. It has 4 levels of regen braking, level 0, 1, 2, and 3. 0 is actually no regenerative braking at all. When you lift off the accelerator, you just coast. You keep going. And it's not putting anything back into the battery, but you're going for as far as possible. If you want to start to up that, you can press the paddle shifter on the left side right here. Now we're up at level 1, and when we let go of the accelerator, we still slow down a little bit. It has the same feeling as a conventional automobile with an automatic transmission, where we can still coast, we can still go, we're getting a little bit back in the battery, but honestly, not much. Now, stepping up to level 2 and level 3, that's where the real fun begins. That's where the electromagnetic magic happens. We push this up to level 2, we left off the accelerator, and now we are noticeably slowing down. And even more if we want to bring that up to level 3. If I just totally let off the accelerator, I exaggerated that a little bit, but you get the idea. This is used for one-pedal driving. If you're in stop-and-go traffic, I don't have to touch the brakes at all. We're just, okay, we're coming up on people in front of me. I'll let off here a little bit. We'll slow down. I don't need to touch the brake pedal. We're good. And we'll start going again as I push on the accelerator again. Folks, you have no idea how hard it is to not call that a gas pedal in an electric car. Additionally, when you need to come to a full stop, as I'm going to do right up here, level 3 braking will get you down close to stopped, but if you want to fully stop without touching the brake pedal, you can do so. Just hold down that paddle on the left side, and we've come to a complete stop. I let go, we're still stopped, I hit the accelerator, and we're off again. And when you're at level 2, 3, or just holding that paddle to come to a stop, note that the rear brake lamps on the car will engage as well, so that drivers behind you know that you're slowing down even when you're not touching the brake pedal. Now, these paddles are a great way to make sure that when you're stopping, you are only using regenerative braking, but they are not the only way to use regenerative braking, if that makes sense. If we hit this paddle on the right here, we'll go down from 3 to 2 to level 1. Now we're down to level 0. It's not automatically regen braking at all, but if I want to start to slow down, all I need to do is, as in a normal vehicle, just touch the brake pedal, and we are getting some energy back. The computer in the car will ramp up regen until you are demanding more than it can deliver, and then seamlessly engage the friction brakes. And I mean seamlessly. In a modern electrified vehicle, you will not be able to tell the difference between where the regen stops and the friction braking starts to take up the slack. Now, as I said, other manufacturers do this differently. We'll take my personal Chevy Volt out to the road behind the dealership so I can show it off pretty well. When you have the shift lever in D, or drive, it will have a basic equivalent to level 1, just a little bit of slowing down just to feel like an automatic transmission. If instead you were to switch from D down into L, or the low gear equivalent, then we're getting the equivalent of level 2 regeneration. And from either D or L, I can pull what Chevy calls the Regen On Demand paddle on the back of the steering wheel for even more regeneration. The Chevy Bolt has a very similar system, though it has no regen at all while in D, but still more regen in L and full regen with regen on demand. For one more example, this Jeep Wrangler 4xe, driven by salesperson Bill, has the normal level 1 regen that you get when you lift off the accelerator, but if you are going to be in stop and go traffic and want to use one pedal driving, just hit the max regen button right on the front over here in the center stack. And when you're going to be on back roads and highways and just want to be able to coast, you can go ahead and toggle that right back off. And if this is too much, if you don't want to deal with a max regen button or the regen on demand paddle or switching between levels and gears or anything like that, that's totally fine. Any electric vehicle that you drive is still going to regen as much as possible when you use the foot brake. Drive just like you're used to, and you are still getting as much electricity as you can to extend your range. In addition to saving you energy, regenerative braking will also save you money. The average brake pads last 40,000 miles. There's a really big range, but we'll use that average number. And the average American goes that far in about 3 years. So every 3 years, you're replacing your brake pads, eventually your rotors as well. In an electrified vehicle, you are barely using the friction brakes. As a result, there are stories of brake pads failing by falling apart after the adhesive failed, while the pads themselves still had plenty of life on them. Here's a photo of an old brake pad on the right with a new one on the left. The old one has maybe 25% wear after 6.5 years and 100,000 miles driven. Regenerative braking is a tried and tested component of electrified drivetrains, giving you more range and reducing the wear on your vehicle. If you have any questions about this technology or want to try out any of Hyundai's range of electrified vehicles, you can ask one of our knowledgeable sales staff by giving us a call or just stop into Garvey Hyundai today.